You guys, it's been a long weekend. Let's see. I tried to film our new moon workshop early, but then I ran out of time and had to go to work and came back and filmed the rest of it. So this all happened yesterday, and I got up this morning and started editing the workshop. And sometimes, like, just exporting data takes quite a while, even if you're not busy doing it. So between me and my phone, I didn't get the editing finished in time to also get our new moon workshop uploaded until now. So it's uploading now. So you'll have that to look forward to. The new moon is actually in the middle of the night tonight. And the most potent time to do new moon rituals is just after the new moon as the fresh light starts to grow in the early stages. So that's the most potent. So no worries there. And also something that's interesting about the new moon is that according to Kabbalistic hermeneutic lens, the new moon affects the energy all month. So it's the new moon of Pisces, right? And we think of this as being the month of Pisces. So these influences are not only for the waxing phase, but they also continue through the rest of this this month or this moon cycle, all the way to the full moon, or till the full moon has waned, if that makes sense, until the next new moon. God, we finally got there. You guys, it's been like balls to the wall at work since Valentine's Day. And even on my days off, I was doing so much video content and stuff that I just feel like out of body. I love that. Okay, so our first card for today, I don't even think I told you guys what we were here for. Hi, it's Sunday night when I'm filming this. We're here for our weekly energy forecast using the Oracle of Oddities, all 3 editions smashed into one. This is going to be sort of like the energetic weather of the week. These are the conditions that we will be experiencing. On Mondays, tomorrow, I do our anchor message. And the anchor message is like the spiritual themes and like according to life school, the lessons that we're going to be working with, right? The spiritual growth themes of the week. So tonight is like the weather of the week ahead, energetically speaking. And then tomorrow we will be more focused on our lessons. I feel very discombobulated right now. Okay, so our first card is Anya. I can't pronounce that. I'm sorry. It's the third eye chakra. It's AJNA. Is it Anya? Third eye chakra. So pay attention to your imagination this week. What are you visualizing? What kind of images and thought forms are you building in your mind? Your intuition can show you things as like prophetic visions in that third eye chakra. And to me, when I see things like that in my mind, sometimes it literally takes up this area. Like if I were like intuiting where the thought is in my mind, it really does come in here. So your third eye has to do with your ability to visualize in your mind's eye. It has to do with how vivid your imagination is when you are like visualizing in your mind. And then it also connects to like your ability to have nightly dreams and remember them and then be very vivid. In a way, your third eye to me is really connected a lot to your sacral chakra. They're both like really potent psychic centers, and they're both connected to dream world. Your solar plexus are a psychic center too, and so are your heart. But I feel that they're more closely related, and I feel like the third eye and the sacral chakra are kind of more in cahoots together, or similar, if that makes sense. All right, so what more do we need to know about this week? What about our third eye chakra? Ooh, embrace. I love that. So pay attention to embrace the moment you're in, first of all, right now. A lot of the messages recently, particularly for the new moon, workshop. So I'm excited for you guys to go watch that. It's all about being present in this moment now. This is where your power is. This is where divine unconditional love is. This is where you create. This is all that there is in reality, is this present moment. So embrace this present moment, because it was occurring to me this morning that the kingdom of heaven is now. Simple as that. It's not a goal that we work toward, like to go to someday. It's not a far off destination. It's not in the future. It's now. The only place to access heaven is now. The kingdom of heaven is at hand, right? And so that means it's here. It's available to you right here, right now. It's the cultivation within yourself to be able to be in a state of inner peace and satisfaction. Period. When the flesh suit dies, we may go somewhere to another dimension that's a heaven, but we won't be in a heaven unless we know how to be satisfied, right? Because we're taking the same consciousness with us, right? When we leave the body, did you work out your emotional issues? Did you do the work of that soul correction in this life? Because the soul goes with you. So just because you die doesn't mean your problems stay with the earth. What if we keep getting reincarnated and we keep having to like pick up where we left off? You know what I mean? So embrace this moment for all that it offers you. If it offers you an opportunity to push through a challenge, then great. That's going to reveal more light to you. It's going to open you up to be able to tap into a place of inner peace. It's giving you the thick skin and the endurance to be able to be in the midst of chaos and it not really affect you, right? So many times, especially through 2020, I felt like I was coasting. It was so weird. It's like, not always this easy. Like tonight, I was in the middle of the chaos. I was swimming in chaos at the restaurant. I was like so weeded. I had like 6 tables come in at one time. I was in the chaos. I was lost in the chaos. But like, for instance, there were many times in 2020 where it was like the kind of chaos where people were like, do we go looting? Like, I don't know. Are we like pushing people in the grocery store trying to like get the toilet paper? Like, you know, people were like on edge, like where people were like, I don't know what's going to happen. Like, are we going to have like tanks coming in the street? Like people were hilarious, like hysterical. And during that chaos, it was like, I just knew everything was going to be fine. It was weird. It was like, I was so emotionally sober through it all. I wasn't really worried about anything. And actually the pandemic was fine. It went fine for me. And anytime there was a challenge, it would just sort of iron itself out because I was like in the state of like, I'm at peace. I know everything's going to be fine. I had certainty. Last night's Secret Teachings of Jesus video, we talked about certainty, the concept of certainty, and how when you have faith that is beyond reason, the Hebrew word being emunah, faith beyond reason, certainty in the Creator, that no matter how bleak the circumstances are, no matter how much it seems like the odds are turned against you, no matter how like, oh, set in stone, like, no, this is actually the way it is. No matter what the circumstances are, you know that God can change anything in an instant and turn the whole mess around in your favor. And the moment that you do that, the moment that you really have that lock into that certainty, it's almost like that's the magic sauce. And you have just become the master over the demons that were plaguing you. They have just now become your pawns. And when you don't let that fear come over you, when you're not anxious, when you're not reactive, and you're like, no, I'm standing firm in my certainty, then everything starts moving and changing to work itself out for you. So embrace the moment no matter what it's offering. If the moment is offering you a moment of quiet and peace, then embrace that, because any minute things are going to pop off and get busy. I can already feel it. It's already been busy at the restaurant. Opportunities are going to be coming in. there's going to be so much happening in the spring that are going to offer you big leaps, kind of opportunities, but we need to be ready for it. So right now, embrace a moment to regroup, to nurture yourself, to get yourself in a prime state, to have so much energy to put into your passion once like the real energetic year begins, right? And if you're busy right now, embrace it. It's a great opportunity. But no matter what is being presented, radical acceptance is the key. It's like, okay, this is what I have. How can I work with it, right? It's like, accept the things you cannot change and change the things that you can, and have the wisdom to know the difference, right? It's the prayer of serenity. Also, embrace the visions that you're being shown. Like, it's important that you know the difference between your own mental chatter and your own thoughts that come in, and then like a vision that is presented to you that ends up being sort of like an intuitive instructional hit, if that makes sense. Like, there is a difference between your own thoughts in your mind and something that you have a vision inside of your mind that comes true later. So pay attention to those and start really learning how to distinguish the difference between them. And I really think the only way that you can do that is just trial and error. It just takes time, and you start to notice the differences, and it's subtle. It's very subtle. But the more you pay attention to them, the more that you'll notice when they play out too. Like, I had a vision the other day of like one of my coworkers. This one time he brought in food for us, and I was just thinking that day, like, oh, that was so much fun. That was so great when he brought in that snack. And then that same day, he like just happened to be in the building and then left us more food. So see what I'm saying? Like, it's like there's a difference between like having a vision and then just like having like mental chatter go through your mind, right? So I don't want to send everybody out there in the world with loaded guns thinking that every single thought and vision that they have in their head is like a prophetic vision that they should embrace. It isn't. But learn to tell the difference so that you can pay attention and let these visions help you as a form of your guidance, as a form of your intuitive, like put it in your intuitive tool belt, right? Also, you know, it works for you to set your intention when you're visualizing, to really get a vivid mental picture and play it out and go through it in your mind. Because your mind, like your body, your nervous system, it doesn't know the difference between your actual physical experience and what you're living out and playing out in your imagination. So a lot of athletes have started doing this where they rehearse in their mind when they're not actually training. And it's like they set themselves up. They go through the whole game or the whole routine or whatever, and they see it executed flawlessly in their mind over and over and over again. So embrace the power that we have in our imagination. It's one of our creator powers. But we don't learn how to wield it. And we're leaving a lot of power on the table, people. But yeah, I mean, you create thought forms with your imagination. These things live and dwell in the astral realms. Okay, what else do we need to know for the week ahead? What is the energy that is going to be influencing us that we need to know about for our highest good, that will help us embody our potential, do our soul correction? Empathy. Okay, so we're being asked to have empathy this week. It's going to help us to try to put ourselves in someone else's shoes and embrace our ability to feel for others and to understand how they feel. And it always helps if you put yourself in someone else's shoes. It's not always easy. And it's not like when you're in the middle of the chaos, it's not always easy to be like empathic towards other people. But that might be one of the things that's presenting itself for us this week to evolve, is embrace our empathy. And it might be too that like, okay, so if you're an empath, embrace this skill. I know that it's very difficult. It's very draining when you're an empath, because a lot of times you can be around people and you're feeling their emotions and you don't realize that they're not yours. So that can be very confusing. It can also be very draining, because if you're an empath, then people around you like to come to you and when they're emotional, and they like to purge all their emotions on you, and then you feel for them and you feel what they feel while they're with you, and so then you're drained afterwards. So it can sometimes feel like a curse more than a gift, but you should really embrace it as a gift, because it is, and it's a very powerful gift to have. It's just that you have to learn how to control it. So you have to learn how to put energetic boundaries up around yourself, and like putting yourself in a bubble of white light helps. It really does. It like puts this like sealant around your aura. I like to pray and put myself surrounded by like angels every day. Say the Lord's Prayer. There's certain prayers that I say like in the morning and at night, and maybe in the middle of the day if I remember. But that helps. But it just helps to put it in perspective. And then also, the more you can observe the fact that like you're feeling someone else's feelings and those aren't yours, you can tell more of a difference, and it is less draining. But try not to block out your empathic tendencies, and try to strengthen them in such a way that you're not becoming enmeshed into someone else and taking on responsibility for all of their emotional well-being because you feel it too, right? So that's another challenge for the empaths, is to not enmesh, right? Is to not lose ourselves in other people. So while you're embracing and strengthening your skills as an empath, and you can get more clarity around them and learn how to separate what's yours and what isn't, you might also find that you're picking up on other people's thoughts. That used to happen to me, like as like a young person at church. I'd be like, why are all these random thoughts coming into my head? And as it turns out, I think it's just because I'm an empath, and I'm sitting next to all these adults with all their baggage, and I'm like, whoa, a lot of drama going on around here. But I don't know. Pay attention. It can. These tools can help you. They really can. You just have to learn the skills in wielding them and the ethics around it. All right. What else do we need to know for this week? Good light. Like, we're having visions, we're having prophecies, we're embracing the now. The kingdom of God is at hand. Being empaths. Let's see. Hope we can land here on a high note. In fact, I think I'll pull 5 cards. Whenever I pull one that's a chakra card, I kind of like to pull more story cards. Okay. Ooh, deception. Okay. So this week, embracing our skills as an empath is probably going to bring a lot of deception to our awareness. You can feel when someone's being dishonest with you, and you can sense it, but you're not quite sure. And I think that this week, you're going to start getting a sense and a notion of like where there's been dishonesty. You're going to pick up on it, and it's going to become a lot more clear. You're going to feel it in your bones. So trust your intuition, because for some reason, I don't think that this is about where we're being dishonest with ourselves. Although it is always like, take these to yourself first. This advice. Search yourself for where you're not being honest with yourself, right? And also that's really good to do as an empath, is to challenge yourself on that all the time. Am I being honest with myself, or am I just people pleasing, right? Am I being authentic, or am I just going along to get along? Because it's going to be extra uncomfortable to me if I make another person uncomfortable, because I'm going to feel it on both sides, right? So be sure that you're being honest with yourself. But also, if you're getting again, this is so subtle, because it's so easy for us to have our minds flooded with disaster, with paranoia, with suspicion. But that's the work of calming down our mind so that we can empty ourselves of all of the toxic chatter and influence and our ego reactivity, so that at a certain point we can quiet ourselves enough and be like, have like this calm resting rate that we can really, really tune in and feel our intuition very clearly. So that like when we're feeling, like we can trust what we're feeling around us, and we know when there's dishonesty about. Okay. I knew there was like an unpleasant card coming. I wouldn't have said, I hope we land on a high note. Okay, one more just to finish this out. What about deception? I'm not going to take that. It wasn't coming. I feel like I can't talk or think tonight, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm so tired from the weekend. Because in between the restaurant, I've been here basically making video content. So I've just been nonstop talking. I need to just stare at the wall for a while. Okay, and so release. So release what is not yours, right? Like, and that could be where people have deceptively thrown stuff at you that is not yours to take on, right? That could be people projecting on you. That could be people who lied to you and about how they felt or how it was, how it went down, because they didn't want to take responsibility for their side. And that's left you as an empath traumatized and feeling like you're carrying the weight of the world, you know, and that you're always the one who's responsible for making it right. And we need to let that go. Get off the cross, Myrtle. Give somebody else a go. So release. Release the bugaboos. Release the worries. Release the fears. Release all those insecurities. Release what's bugging you, right? Let go. Let go of what no longer has value, what's dying away, and allow something that is more nourishing to come in its place, right? So we are embracing the new, right? It's like we're having this vision of this life that's coming in, and we're embracing the new, and we're releasing all the things that were not authentic to us, all the things that weren't true, all of the illusions, all of the lies that people put on us, all of the projections that came from other people's egos. Just let it go. Release it. It's garbage. It's not for you. Not for you. Your empathy makes you a stronger person. It gives you power. But you just have to learn how to put boundaries up around yourself so that you don't become enmeshed in others and lose yourself, because you care. You care about them, right? So, itchy ear. Pay attention to what you're imagining. Pay attention to what you're feeding in your imagination. If you're imagining, you know, worst case scenarios, turn the channel. But if you have a real deep, solid, grounded sense that there's something dishonest going on around you, or that people haven't been honest with you, it's like this doesn't have to be as like, this can be more benign than it seems, right? This can be someone who's like hiding their feelings towards you. This can be someone who's withholding their love from you. I used to have, like, I've had multiple ex-boyfriends that at a certain point in our relationship, in order to just, I don't know, hold power over me or be, you know, whatever difficult, they would withhold laughter. Like, they would not laugh with me. Like, I would be making jokes and stuff, and they just be like, I'm sorry, what? Like, it's a thing, right? So do you do that? Have you ever withheld from someone because you've got like a grudge building up, or you've got like resentment towards them, right? Someone might be, you know, holding back from you because of a resentment or because of jealousy or something like that. So just pay attention. When these things come up in your mind and you suspect something is a foul, pray about it. Pray out loud that the Creator will show you very clearly, and that whatever needs to be exposed will be exposed in the highest good for all, that you'll be protected through the whole thing, and just have certainty that you are, and everything will be worked out in your favor. All right, y'all. Third eye, embrace, empathy, deception, and release. Peace, release. That's my mantra. Peace and release. Rinse and repeat. All right, you guys, if you like this video, give it a like. Subscribe to my channel if you like my content, and leave me a comment in the comment box below. If you don't know what to say, then you can just leave me emojis. Every little thing helps and counts when you take an action on a video, and when a few people like and comment, my reach expands by 10,000 people sometimes. So everything that you do helps me so much, and I really appreciate it. And if you'd like to support this channel, there is a link in the description box below to my Venmo or my PayPal if you wish. Thanks. See ya. Ciao. Oh, and thank you for the donations. I just checked my thing and I saw that some had come through, so thank you so much. Bye.